It is going to be daylight savings time very soon. I think March 8th is when the clocks go forward. I can never remember what daylight savings time actually is. I always rely on other people to tell me what is going to be happening to the clocks. Also, our phones automatically switch, so we don't actually have to change it. There was so much crazy stuff that we don't have to do nowadays that people did manually like 15 years ago. We are so spoiled. We are really so spoiled. Um, what the I don't remember what the point of talking about that was. Oh, I have like this weird thing about waking up early where I feel like when I start to see the sun coming up, it's telling me that I'm running out of time. So I like getting up early because I have a crazy amount of time to do things in the morning. And whenever I start to see sunlight in the sky, it tells me that my time is running low. And that always makes me kind of anxious. Like, as long as it's dark, I know that I still have a good amount of time left to do whatever I need to do. And then when I start to see sunlight, it kind of like wakes me out. I don't like it. We are trying some new microphone settings. So if it sounds different or worse, I'm sorry. There's this weird balance that I have to find. So the mic needs to be close enough to not sound like empty or airy. Because if I'm talking back here, there's no warmth. There's no depth to the voice. And when you get up close, you get a lot of the detail, especially all the mouth noises. So you want it close enough so where you can get all of the detail in the voice. You don't want it too close because then all your plosives smash the microphone. You also don't want it too close for when you yell. I'm not going to yell right now because it's 6:30. You don't want to peak the microphone. Okay, so there's the whole distance of the microphone from your face aspect of this whole business. And then you have whatever mechanical switches that you use on your keyboard. And for me, there's also an air conditioner in the window, which it's the only depressing part of summer is that there will always be a air conditioner sound in the background of my mic when I'm recording videos. That makes me sad. So the gain needs to be high enough so that I can maintain a usable distance from the microphone. But if it's too high, then the sounds of the microphone or the sounds of the mechanical keyboard clicks are very, very prominent. And when I'm not talking, you can't really hear it. But when I'm talking, the clicks are very, very loud. And I re-put my Cherry MX Blues keyboard back into my gaming setup because I wanted blues and I wanted LEDs. I took my Vortex Race 3 to work since that's a quieter keyboard. And I'm now realizing that it's probably not going to work and that I shouldn't have blues. I should just go back to browns, which makes me sad because blues are my absolute favorite to type on, but they are the most annoying on stream, especially when I'm trying to record. Most people probably don't notice because the clicks are only there when I'm talking. Too bad I just talk all of the time. So you have all of those factors, and then of course you have like your gain staging. So like right now, I'm hitting like pretty much the optimal voice volume. It could go up a little bit more, but if I were to crank the gain anymore, then I would probably be peaking when I'm yelling. And that's what I'm like most concerned about. So I'm trying to find where the perfect mic distance is from my mouth. What is the perfect amount of gain, preamp gain? What is the perfect amount of output gain? And then how can I not peak when I'm screaming? And I also just need to get an additional pop filter for this microphone so I don't have to worry about my plosives too much. But every day I feel like I'm tweaking my mic just to find that absolute perfect medium. I feel like the perfect medium where the mic is a good distance away from my face. I don't peak. It's able to compress my screams and my keyboard clicks, like to try to get all of those to work. There's like such a fine line. There's like this very tiny gray area that I need to be in order for that to happen. And I feel like I can't have them all. I need to like let go of one, and the one that I'm probably going to let go of is the Cherry MX Blues on the keyboard. And that makes me sad, but I don't think there's really anything that I can do about that. God, I hate how prominent the microphone is in the camera and not the subject talking. But oh well. The reason I was going to record a video today, obviously it's a Tuesday and I'm supposed to be recording a video. It was hard getting up this morning. I slept in a little bit, and by slept in I mean 6:30 on Saturday and Sunday, and then I slept in again yesterday just because I felt like cuddling, and then I ran in the evening, which it was 52 degrees when I went for my run yesterday. Oh my god, I wanted to cry, and then so I woke up early this morning, got my run in, and now we're here. And holy moly, once you like break that routine of waking up early, it gets really hard. I'm 2 months in of trying to correct my sleep schedule and wake up earlier. It's still really difficult. When does it get easier? Please God, somebody tell me when this becomes like my natural body routine. I no longer want to feel shitty in the morning. Just let me wake up. Anyways, the reason I started this video, and this might be just like a hair over 10 minutes. A topic that I wanted to include in this video that I'm writing a script for my return to streaming, one of the topics was how I changed interacting with people and why I had to change because of the negative impact that it had on my life. And one of the things that I noticed a couple years back was that I was starting to always have like a negative interaction with people on a daily basis, and it was my fault. In all of the different friend groups that I kind of grew up with, I always grew up with people that they were mean to be funny. Like it was always you were at the expense of the joke, and it was never like bullying per se, but that was just like the humor of the groups that I was in. It was always be mean to be funny. And whenever you were trying to make a joke, you were making fun of somebody, you were insulting them. Sometimes it was actually something maybe they were self-conscious about. Oh, and other times it was just dumb shit, maybe dumb temporary shit like you pooped your pants. And now we're making fun of you for years. But it was just always, and here's the other thing too. I was always the youngest of the friend groups. So of course that comes with a price. You're like, I hang out with the cool kids because they're older than me. But that again, you're always the joke. And people always tell you like, we're mean to you because we love you. That's horseshit. Don't let anybody tell you that. And so I adopted that persona, be mean to be funny. And I always, for whatever reason, kind of admired people that were super quick and witty and mean. And I always kind of like wanted to be the person that could do that. I wanted to be the dude that could like receive an insult and then just turn it around and burn you even harder. And what I realized over a long period of time was all of my interactions with people, I was always trying to be that guy. I was always trying to be witty. I was always trying to be mean. I was always trying to get a laugh at the expense of the other person's feelings. And I noticed again over time that I would just get like meaner and meaner and meaner. And then sometimes I noticed that I would use like really personal things that maybe only I knew. And at that point I was like compromising my trust within a friendship with somebody. It didn't happen like crazy often, but there was a couple times where I said something in jest and I just noticed after the fact that it was just the wrong play, and I felt bad. And then sometimes I'd have to go and I would apologize afterwards. Sometimes the apologies weren't always so well received, and it only took a couple of those times to realize that I didn't want to be that way anymore. And one of the deciding factors in that was I started coming in contact with people outside of my friend group that would do that to me. People who are always trying to be witty or be funny or do like shitty pranks or always try and make fun of you, or people who would like always try and get like the last word in, and oh my God, dealing with that type of person on a daily basis is exhausting. Oh my God, it's so exhausting. And then I started noticing that I would talk to certain people less. And maybe they would be talking to me less because I was just exhausting to talk to. And that really, really bugged me after a while. I started noticing that people stopped coming around so much, people that I enjoyed playing video games with. And it just ended up being really bad. And I would say that I have really, really tried to leave that personality in the past, over the past like 2 or 3 years. And unfortunately, that type of behavior bleeds into stream. And I see this on Twitter all the time. And this particular mindset is really anecdotal. It's an opinion from me, and it's a perspective from me. So often, and it's very, very hot on Twitter right now, and it's why people are uploading clips. There's so many people that upload clips of shitting on somebody in chat, just being mean, whether it's warranted or not warranted. And usually it's people who are on the receiving end of harassment, and they are just replying to it. So of course everybody's like, it's totally fine. Somebody in chat's being a shit ass. And so we're just going to let the streamer kind of go off. And again, I would see clips like that. I would enjoy them. And then I would try to be that person in turn. And there would be certain times where I would get DMs or whispers after the fact, from the person that I chewed out. And, sometimes they would actually have something terrible going on in their life, and they would apologize for the way that they acted. And it made me realize that me responding to fire with fire never ends well. It's funny in the moment. Chat loves it. It makes for a great clip on social media. But after a certain amount of time of doing that over and over and over, of you always trying to be the person that comes back with a funnier or wittier comment, and you always being in defense mode, that is exhausting. And maybe for some people that doesn't affect their day-to-day life at all. They're just naturally witty, and maybe it doesn't affect them, but maybe it affects the people around you. Maybe the way that you are it has a negative impact on the people around you. And again, that is completely anecdotal. I'm not saying that everybody should just be all happy all the time. We are all warranted our flip out moments, our rants and stuff like that. But I feel like when that is your focus, when it is your focus to be mean and to shit on people, and especially when it comes to content, like when you're trying to create content off of it, I've just started muting all of these accounts on Twitter that I see that frequently upload content like that, where again, even if it's warranted, if I constantly am just seeing these clips of people being mean to chat, I get sick of it like really, really fast, and I don't enjoy it anymore. And I'm very thankful that I don't enjoy it anymore. And I have really tried to change how I react to people in that way, both on stream. Hackers, you stream? I know. On stream, at work, in like personal relationships, I try and slow it down. And even though my like knee-jerk reaction is to just come back with something like witty and mean, I have to like reel that back in and just try not to be that way, because I know what it's like to be the other way. It's not fun, and it's exhausting. And then I have like post-conversation anxiety, where I never used to really care what anybody thought about the things that I say, and now I'm like hypersensitive to it. So I'm really conscious of it now. And I think it's a good thing. I definitely think it's a good thing. And I remember putting out a poll on Twitter a little while ago. Like, how do you guys feel about content of these clips that are going around on Twitter of people shitting on their chat? Do you like it? Do you not like it? Do you not care? And the answers were surprisingly even. I even think that people who didn't enjoy that type of content or outweighed the people who enjoyed it. And of course, when you see these clips blow up on Twitter and Instagram, you see all the comments that are like, oh my God, you're so mean, you're so funny, I love it, blah, blah, blah. And it gets the reaction, it gets the validation, and the streamer's like, oh my God, this content's getting so much interaction, I got to keep going with this. And but the fact of the matter is, you don't immediately see the negative impact that type of behavior and that type of content has on your chat. You know, it teaches your chat how to respond to people like that. And I just don't think it's a good thing. So me personally, I've really tried to stray away from doing that kind of thing. The most recent time this happened and where I really regretted what I had said, and it wasn't anything like it was super, like I didn't just bust out this like bigotry filled like racist comment, you know. I just was really, really mean. Matt Weenie and I were playing Raft on stream, and some hacker came in, destroyed my Raft, like kept joining our private lobbies and destroying everything. And it caused like a huge kerfuffle. And I made some backhanded comment about him being like super alone and acne filled face, living in his basement. It's like, oh, you have no life. This is all you do, blah, blah, blah. And I remember in that moment being like, I was mean and I got him. And then he kept doing it. And then I remember I had like a quick like mindset shift, like in the middle of me being mean. And I was like, dude, it's me and my girlfriend's anniversary today. We're just trying to play some games. Can you please leave us alone? He just said, okay. And then he left. And then he never came back. And I didn't send him a PM or anything afterwards, apologizing. But I just remember thinking to myself, that's probably the last time that you should act like that. You know, even though his actions were malicious and they were causing me pain and my girlfriend pain. Is that actual pain? No. But it created a little bit of content, you know, a little bit of entertainment. Okay. But in the end, like, what was the actual problem? And did it warrant me responding with all that fire? No, it really didn't. And that is the most prominent it's the most prominent memory in my brain right now. And I just kind of want to get away from being mean, even if it's warranted. There's so much negative that comes from it when really all it takes is a second to take a breather, to think, and to respond accordingly. And I feel like you'll have a better time. And so that's something that's kind of changed in my life in the past couple of years that I'm really trying to work on. And if any of you kind of share that sentiment, these videos are supposed to be 10 minutes and I keep going over. So I'm going to go have another cup of coffee, drink some water, and then go to work and have a great day. And I hope you have a great day too. I'll see you guys later. Peace.